Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am of course Charlie, the motorcycle rescuer, and this is Motorcycle Rescuer. So yes, welcome back. MOT day for me, I think because I need to just try a couple of things. First of all, the indicator not engaging very well bugs me. I know my guys will give it a flick and they won't be too fussed, but I think the switch in here needs cleaning. Or there's two options. If your indicators are a bit touchy up here, there's two options. It's either that the switch needs a bit of cleaning, or that your bulbs, especially if you've bought new ones and they're probably Chinese crap, they're not enough wattage to trigger the relay. So there's two options there of what that could be. I'll show you what I mean. I turn on like that, and I'll hit for the left indicator, and I heard the relay. Look. See, the relay's kind of kicking off, but if I hold the switch here, look, there you go. Hopefully you caught that. So to me it looks like a slight switch issue, or again bulb issue. So I'm gonna take the caps off anyway and see if I've got better bulbs anyway, because that just makes sense. My guess is that will fix the problem. Otherwise I'm going to take this switch gear off and just see what it needs. A bit of a clean, a bit of manipulation, and yeah. The other thing is I need to do a cold start. This is stone cold now. So cold start, because it took a long time to fire up last time I cold started it, and that kind of makes sense because I've disengaged the choke, haven't I? So cold start. But saying that, I feel like it should have started a bit easier than it did. So I'm going to do. In fact, I'm going to we'll watch a cold start now, and we'll see how long it takes. Don't get me wrong. When a bike's been sitting for so long, it needs to run, you need to circulate the oil, it needs to stretch its legs, all of that needs to happen. But it should still start a bit better than it did. You'll see. I think you'll see that I have to crank it over 3 or 4 times. Now I think I've got a fix for that. What I'm going to do is run a piece of wire or string from the choke, because it's a spring-loaded system, and I'll have something hanging down somewhere that you just pull with a little finger pull, start, off, you'll be fine. So I'm going to make it an manual choke, and I think I have no concerns about that. I'm quite happy with that. Next, I've got these panels. Remember I was saying to you guys it doesn't look right up here. Obviously I checked online, and then actually this is what we need. These are the side panels. Wrong way, that way. So they go up in there and they neaten it up. I mean, look at it now. You just look at it and you think, wow, once we've put these in and clip them into place, it neatens up the top end massively. I'll put some back to black on them as well and get them cleaned up. And lastly, 2 brand new mirrors for up here, because one of them broke. I'm not too fussed for MOT purposes, but actually because this is kind of clipped on, I'll see. I'm not too fussed. What I kind of want to do today is get an MOT out the way. I've got Danny coming. He wants to look at his car, so I need to help him out, as in my mate Danny, not DT Essex. So I want to get the MOT done to take the strain off me a little bit, and then I can do the rest in my own leisure. But let me get the tripod out. Let's go for a cold start, and then I'm going to just look at the bulb, see if I've got spares, switch them over, and hope that the indicator situation is a touch better. We do have an issue. I am low on fuel. I think really silly to sit here messing around with it without. I'm going to go and get a can of fuel. I'm actually going to put the battery on charge for 20 minutes. Not because it's low, but because I'm running it low. Ideally I wanted it to start just to warm it up, but there's no point if it's too low on fuel or anything else. There's no point messing around. But yeah. So fresh fuel in, no issues there. It will start. I mean, it starts every time, but it's a battery killer. That cranking, it really winds me up. So I am going back down to the choke system here, and that's where I'm going to be setting up some sort of manual system. It's going to be as simple as piece of string on there, down here, pull it with your finger here, and engage the choke. My guess is the bike will fire up every time like that. That's my guess. I think when I was reading up about it, there's a separate starting valve system on this bike. Now I can't see it when I'm down there, but I'm going to take a look in a minute and just see if there's anything obvious down there. It was basically a separate plunger underneath. So this isn't an ideal test, but this is because this is a bad battery that's low already. But if I pull the choke up by hand and try and start it, if there's some fuel in there, there you go. I love it when a plan comes together. Let me show you exactly what that is. Here's your choke. Your choke's right here. You've got to pull it out to choke the bike. That does something here. It lets in more air, or out, or blocks the fuel. It does something. If I tie something around here, run it down through the frame, pulling it down there, it will pull out all the choke system with a bit of a tug like that, and the bike should start every time immediately. I'm very happy actually. That was easier than I thought. It started beautifully. We all saw that. I cannot see a separate valve system. That's good news. So that works perfectly well. The indicators are an issue. Right one's okay. The left one's just not happy unless you hold it, which goes back to the switch. I'm gonna take it anyway and see if they'll pass it, knowing that I'm gonna come back and clean it later, the connection. They sometimes are quite good with me like that. Everything else, high beam, low beam, all the brake lights. I think we've checked everything before, haven't we? Rear running light. Let's check the rear brake light. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm going to go and see if I can get this done. I'm not going to throw any of that on for now. I'm just going to trickle it there, hope it passes, and then we'll come back and we'll do some nitty-gritty bits, the cleaning up and the finishing off. That was such a stunning ride. That bike is smooth, stupidly smooth. When I'm riding a bike and enjoying it, I always get an urge to make it my way. So for example, I felt it needed a Delkovich exhaust, but for 130 quid, which is what it costs, I wouldn't see a return on that, so it wouldn't be worth it. But so smooth. The idle was a little low once warm, so I need to tweak the idle a little bit more once warm. But now that we've got our manual choke set up, much easier to do. So tweak the idle once warm, because what that means is, it means that the I think what's happened is that after a good run, which is what I've just done, the waxwork system has come back into play now, and I think it's lowered the revs a little bit more. So I think it's working now, the wax system. So I'm gonna put the idle up a little bit more on startup, and then that'll drop low on once it's warm. So I mean, that's fine, that's tweaking, that's easy. It didn't get too low idle, it was kind of around 850 revs. I want it at 1k. But very smooth bike. Hopefully it passes its MOT. Alright guys, so MOT done, pass clear, all good. Homemade choke system working good. Danny had a bit of a laugh about that, but I'll tuck it in and I'll hide it. Danny was saying, can you put it on the system like a switch or something? That's a nice theory, but it kind of has to be coming this way. I suppose you could create something down there, couldn't you? A little switch down there, but I'm not that fast. Starts on the button all day, every day. I don't need to adjust the idle too much, a tiny little bit. Later I'm going to be piecing that back together and taking pictures, and that'll go up for sale. Probably 1650, looking to get 1500 for it. And yeah, me and Danny's possibly camping at John's later this week. I'm going to fire up the Triumph later, Dan. Yeah. I haven't fired it up for 3 weeks now, but the last I rode it, it rode properly. for the first time ever.
Get it insured, they'll follow you up.
No way, I'd hate that drive. Remember, Dan, this one, left foot brake, right foot gear.
Oh, that's fine.
Opposites. Yeah, my brain can't do it. My brain can do one or the other. I can change gear or I can brake. So while Danny sucks in the background, I'm going to see if John's bike will fire up. It's been about 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Alright, Rabjab turned up and disturbed me, so I'm going to try again. Rabjab wants everyone to know his eye is feeling better.
100% my eye's back to normal now. Why did you ask me, was I there yesterday? Yesterday you took it. But that's good, yeah. Come on. Yeah. That's what this is. Yeah, that's so long to do it. That's running so well. So well. That's running proper. All power, proper. Yeah. You haven't been in this. What is that? Right, has it been? That's right, it's full power. I'm really happy with that. The last 3 weeks I've been at...
That's so good. How good is that? You can hear it. It's revving.
It sounds really good. Sound is good.
That honestly, that's so smooth. Well, I say smooth. It's 50 years old, but it's got power in all of its rev range. Takes 3 or 4 minutes to warm up.
I hope John's happy. That's the main thing. Once he's on that's warmed up, man. Yeah.
Guys, honestly, that ran so well. It did take a few kicks to start, but it ran so well.